There is a variety of koi fish you can buy to populate your pond. Some of these domesticated carp are bright and add pops of color to the water. Others are shimmery or have unique patterns that make your pond beautiful. As a pond hobbyist, I've done a lot of research on koi fish. I love learning what their colors and patterns mean. I have a variety of fish in my backyard koi pond, and I want you to have some of that beauty in your pond. Before you buy new koi fish, learn everything about what Chagoi koi fish have to offer. These fish offer more than just stunning looks. They also provide companionship like your furry pets. Watch on to get to know about the personality of these fish. Chagoi comes from the Japanese word ocha, which means tea. That encompasses the range of colors for this type of koi, the tea-colored koi. Chagoi, also literally translating to brown carp, are an old variety of koi that look very similar to the wild carp. The word cha, meaning brown, comes from the word ocha, which means tea, and these koi were originally named okagoi due to their resemblance to the brown tea color. Very quickly, however, the o was dropped as the farmers put emphasis on the cha sound, leaving us with the name we are all familiar with today. Chagoi koi fish are some of the most intelligent koi you can buy. They're aggressive in the pond during feeding time, because they love to eat. This appetite, paired with their friendliness, makes them great koi to raise, because you can hand tame them. They will definitely eat from your bare hand. Because of that kind behavior, the Chagoi koi are typically referred to as the gentle giant, as they tend to grow much bigger than other koi varieties, and are very docile around people. Chagoi will typically come and greet you at the top of the pond, be willing to be touched, and will often encourage other koi in the pond to be more friendly. The Chagoi koi are large. Even when the koi are young and still growing, you can tell that they're robust and eat a lot as they grow. They're larger than other koi at the same age, and as an adult, are as long as 40 inches. Chagoi koi fish have thick, blocky bodies with fat tails. Even their head is broad, so they don't look anything like slim, streamlined koi varieties. Another way to identify a Chagoi fish is by looking at the fins. Neither the pectoral fins nor the dorsal fin is split. Chagoi koi were first bred in the Taisho era, the period from 1912 to 1926 when Emperor Taisho controlled Japan. These koi were different from the many other varieties of ornamental carp as they were not bred specifically to create a variety of koi, or for a particular color, pattern or even skin type. Instead, Chagoi were created accidentally from selectively breeding traits in the common carp that made them more valuable as food and easier to keep. That is, they bred the fish to be big as well as tame and friendly. With each new generation of Magoi, the farmers chose to grow on and breed only the biggest, friendliest fish, and within only a few generations, the majority of fish born were lovely and tame. At this point, their colors had changed a little, while the Asagi come from Magoi, and they were significantly different from the wild Magoi, in both size and temperament, that they were often kept as pets and even sold as pets, rather than as food. It was at this point that the variety was formally named the Chagoi. As the years passed, and more varieties were developed, it became clear that the breeding methods used to stabilize the varieties were having a negative effect on the size of the koi and the rate of growth. Koi that were significantly different from the wild koi, such as Doitsu koi, typically grew a lot slower and rarely reached the same size as Chagoi koi. Even today, almost all the prizes for the largest koi go to Chagoi koi, and the variety has the largest percentage of jumbo koi. Chagoi are certainly not small. On the contrary, they're big and rather stocky. A Chagoi has a broad head and shoulders. The knuckle of the tail is also fat. There is nothing elegant or streamlined about a Chagoi. However, their big appearances are thanks to their ferocious appetites. Juvenile Chagoi tend to be bigger than other koi of the same age. They grow fast. An adult Chagoi can grow as big as 40 inches if the pond allows it. Comparing the size of your koi is an excellent way to determine if you have any Chagoi in your pond. When you visit a koi farm, you'll see a lot of brown koi. Many Chagoi are brown, but not all brown koi are Chagoi. There are different patterns you might find on this koi variety and various shades of brown it can display. There are a few different patterns of Chagoi koi that add interest to your pond. While all koi are unique, these varieties are eye-catching in their own way. Many Chagoi koi, but not all, also have a reticulation pattern in their scales. Because the Chagoi family are the direct descendant of the Asagi koi and Magoi, some koi keepers prefer the Chagoi to be a bit more interesting, while others prefer to keep the variety natural and as similar to the wild version as possible. Therefore, both versions are still popular and therefore bred. Chagoi fish have two patterns, with fukuran and without fukuran. Fukuran means that each scale has a black shiny outline, making it look like it has a fishnet pattern. Some colors of Chagoi don't have fukuran. They're still healthy Chagoi koi, and they can still have scales in proper alignment. Fukuran refers to the color of the scales edges only. Jinrin Chagoi has a stunning diamond shimmer. The shimmer is created by proteins under the scales that cause folds. The texture refracts light and makes the fish glimmer and shine in the water. As previously mentioned, Chagoi koi fish are easy to hand tame. You can feed them and give them a koi treat right from your hand. This is fun because it makes your fish feel more like a pet than an ornamental decoration in your pond. The behavior is also contagious, so once your more wild carp see the Chagoi fish eating from your hand, they'll swarm over, too. The Chagoi's calm demeanor will rub off on your other fish and ensure your pond is a safe haven for your fish. Our provider's directory contains both online and local stores that have Chagoi koi for sale. You can either pick up your koi locally or have an online store ship the fish directly to your door. In the world of koi fish, most people are drawn to their beautiful patterns and colors, but there's an often overlooked factor that's even more important: their body shape. Before we dive into what makes a great body shape, let's understand why it's such a big deal. Creating the perfect body shape for koi fish is not easy. It takes a lot of careful breeding, trial and error, and dedication. It's not something that happens by chance. The shape of a koi isn't just about how it looks, it's about the overall impression it gives when you see it. Think of it like that wow moment you get when you see an incredible koi fish at a show. While most people first notice a koi's patterns, breeders have a different perspective. They can't create patterns from scratch, but they can control and improve body shape through selective breeding. This gives them a level of predictability and control that they don't have with patterns. For breeders, the body shape is like a canvas, and patterns are the finishing touches. But what breeders truly want? Breeders care a lot about body shape because it's something they can work on and improve. They believe that patterns are mostly a matter of luck, but body shape is something they can actively shape and perfect. So, while as hobbyists, you might be drawn to a koi's pattern, breeders focus more on the body. If koi value was determined solely by patterns, it would be a risky business for breeders, because it would all depend on luck. But by prioritizing body shape, breeders can ensure that their hard work and skills are reflected in the quality of their fish. Because beyond the patterns, there is impression of a koi begin. The immediate impression a koi makes is vital. It starts with the body of the koi. If the body isn't right, breeders won't want to invest time and effort into developing the koi, no matter how good its other qualities are. This first impression is hard to put into words, especially with young koi. It's that feeling you get when a koi really stands out in the pond. Finding young koi with good body potential. While there are no guarantees in breeding koi, you can look for certain signs in young koi that suggest they have the potential for a great body shape. It's important to think about what size you want, because that influences the body shape. If you want massive koi, you'll need to invest in the right bloodlines. But what is the ideal body standards? A koi with an ideal body shape has proportion and balance. Its body flows smoothly from head to tail, with a visible spine under the skin. The dorsal fin is in the right place, and the tail has enough depth for a seamless look as the koi grows. A koi with the right body shape exudes power and presence while gracefully moving in the water. Different breeders and different koi varieties may have slightly different body shapes, but the key qualities of power and impact remain constant. Understanding the importance of body shape helps enthusiasts appreciate koi from a new perspective. The ideal body standards to look out for include proportion throughout, a smooth and uninterrupted curve to the body. Body mass throughout, no deviation in the mass, like tail too thin, or head too small, or too short. Conformation includes the body shape, the proportions of the body, finnage, head shape, width at the eyes and shoulders, and so on. Differences in body occur at different ages of koi, and we must recognize this proper development over time. The proper body can show power and elegance at the same time. As a koi matures, the body becomes that much more important. When young, pattern and color are most important, but when a koi gets older, it must show power. The head should be wide, and the nose should be rounded. If the nose is too pointy, the fish will lack elegance. The forehead area should have a gradual descent from the shoulder to the nose. If it cuts too quickly down, the head looks more like a shark. The forehead should be slightly convex, not flat. Faces around the cheeks can be rounded or more squared at the jaw depending on bloodline, but both are okay. There is a perfect triangle that the eyes and nose form that you will recognize as you get more experience. If the nose is too short or long, it can throw off the conformation. This triangle is almost an equilateral triangle. Look at the videos of show winners and study this. The body is said to be torpedo-shaped. The widest part, if looking down, is between the back of the gill plates to the leading ray of the dorsal fin. If the widest point is at the gills and cuts back too fast to the tail, then the fish has no power. If the widest part extends back further than this, then the koi has a chubby type appearance, and this too lacks power. The tail tube should be thick to depict power. From the side, you would follow the same rules, without the stomach hanging down too much. If the lowest point is under the gills, then the koi is said to be pigeon-chested. Choman is a stomach disorder, where the stomach hangs down at the back the furthest. The stomach should be carried in a muscular way, rather than a flabby way. Make sure the spine is straight. Watch it swim, and see if everything is carried straight. Also look from the side to see if the fish carries itself properly. Make sure the head or tail is straight out, and not facing up or down. Fins are very important too. The pectoral fins should be wide, almost like angel wings, to give elegance. Large pectorals are good, as long as they're in proportion. They should have strong edges, not frayed. Check the leading rays to make sure they extend all the way out to the end. Sometimes these are trimmed if damaged. Make sure all fins are there and not damaged. The dorsal fin should have a strong front ray, and when in a raised position, should have no holes or show any signs of past fin rot. The tail should be powerful and not wispy. The anal fin is subject to damage by fin rot and netting, so check it. Look for any signs of scar tissue from previously broken fins.